Hello, friends. I'm Charmaine from To a Child, and this is another Witches Cauldron. Today, I want to talk a little bit about emotional regulation. I want this portion of the channel to be about emotional regulation skills, kind of real world applications. And in the past few days, my pet had passed away, and so I have been feeling a lot of grief. And it's kind of funny because the way I went through my feelings was that first day I went through a lot of self-blame because I felt guilty. I felt just guilty and sad. I'm not there wasn't anything even to be guilty for. The second day I spent all day lost. I didn't know what time it was at any point during the day. I just felt really empty and lost. I did a lot of just kind of staring at walls and being in the quiet, which is very different quiet when you have animals running around. I still have an animal running around. It's just not the same noises as dog noises. So, that third day, which is today, I realized I needed some help because I noticed yesterday my care for self went right out the door. I didn't realize what time it was, so I didn't feed myself until I was primally hungry, and then there really wasn't anything in the house because I haven't been taking care of myself. Realizing I needed a little bit of help, I made myself a list of things to do to try to get me back on track. One of which was getting a Walmart order placed for pickup so I didn't actually have to go in the grocery store, and making sure that I had an alarm on my phone so that I know when to eat because I know I am missing my hunger cues because I'm sad and uh, and I didn't have anything to feed myself when I did finally get hungry. Things are important like that. Your overall body care is important to keep your mind healthy enough to process grief properly. So, here I am now with a fridge full of food, dinner eaten, but having to do it with an alarm because my little friend isn't here to run in circles when she starts to feel hungry, which is the time it's time to eat every day. So, moving forward, I know tomorrow's probably going to still be a little bit rough, but I'm going to take moments to breathe like I have the past 2 days, where I just take a moment to take either 3 deep breaths, 10 if I feel like I have the time for it. And I take those breaths, moving my hands in an upward motion as I inhale and then a downward motion as I exhale. And I take deep, slow breaths so that I'm calming myself down and not allowing my anxiety to start peaking with those shallow breaths and allowing my body to just start making cortisol. Doesn't need to do that. I'm also reminding myself to be self compassionate because it's okay to be sad when you lose a friend. And my little dog was my friend. And it is going to be vastly different with her little shenanigans not around. So, as I process my grief, I'm remembering how important it is for these skills because had this been 10 years ago in my life, I'm not sure I would be handling it this well. I would probably still be in the self-blame loop and, getting lost in that sadness, and now I'm not so much lost in the sadness. Yes, I am sad, but I'm allowing myself to be sad. I'm not telling myself that I'm not allowed to be sad. I'm not telling myself that this isn't important enough to be sad about. The thing is, to me, it's important to be sad about. And I'm sad because, that's what you feel when you love someone or something so much and then they're gone. It's okay to feel that sad. It's just because you have all that love kind of building up because it has nowhere to go. So, I'm going to remind everyone that emotional regulation comes from practice. And if you don't practice it, you won't. If you don't practice it when you aren't super triggered with emotion, when you're super hit hard with emotion, this super sadness that I'm feeling isn't going to hit as hard because I've been practicing these emotional regulation skills, knowing that I need to deeply breathe. Otherwise, I'm going to start stressing myself out. That's an emotional regulation skill. And so I challenge you to practice taking those breaths when you need them and practice it when you're not all either super sad or super angry or super fearful. Because if you can practice it when you don't need it, it might be more readily available to you when you do need it because you have practiced it and it is something that you've done. Um, Today I had to take the trash out and I realized that my little dog wasn't out there with me to run all the way with me out to the front of the yard and then come all the way back. And on the way back, I saw my cat's head looking at me and thought, "Ah, I still have a little friend out here. She's just not as friendly as my last friend." So I know that this will get easier. It always gets easier in time. However, I'm going to allow myself to feel my feelings and not be judgmental about them because it's okay. Always remember your feelings. It's okay to have your feelings. And of course, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And until next time on the Witches Cauldron, light and love.